Hello, welcome back to my channel. Crazy Clean Mama here. 2021 was a life-changing year for me because I became a mom for the first time. So my baby was born in mid-May. I spent the first half being pregnant and the last half as a new mom. Throughout my pregnancy and motherhood journey, I've shared along the way some tips, life lessons, regrets as a new parent, and pregnancy surprises on my channel. I'll link those videos below, but for this video I wanted to just highlight the 10 biggest lessons that I learned in 2021, or like the 10 big picture of lessons that I learned. And I do want to point out that all of the lessons that I'll mention are based on my own personal experiences only. They're not taken from a book that I read or any other resource, but my own experience. Lesson number 1. Babies are much smarter than you think. It's not that I ever thought babies were dumb, okay, don't get me wrong there, but babies are just much more aware of their surroundings than you would think. And I remember day 1 at the hospital when I was nursing my baby. I would talk to him as I nursed him, and at some point when my husband was holding my baby and I was talking to my husband, walking up to him, and suddenly when my baby heard my voice, he turned his head around, opened his mouth my way because he recognized my voice. He was hungry and he knew I had his food. It was crazy amazing. And that is just one of many examples. Do not underestimate babies' intelligence. Lesson number 2. Babies cry for a reason. They do not just cry because, well, they're babies and that's what they do. No, crying is their main form of communication. So they cry for a reason. It could be because maybe they're sick, or because they want to tell you something. They want their diapers changed, they're hungry, they want to be picked up. My baby, he even cries when he's bored. Yes, he cries when he's bored, but that's still a reason. Like, for example, maybe he's bored of watching Cocomelon and now he wants to watch Baby Shark. Back to lesson number 1. Babies are smarter than you think. You can actually tell the differences between your baby's cries. Get to know your baby's cries and you will start to understand what they want. For example, I know when my baby's tired because his cries when he's tired are the worst. It's worse than when he's hangry in the middle of the night. Yeah, but at least I know that he's just tired and he wants to go for a stroller ride. Lesson number 3. Babies pick up easily from routines. So the good news is that good habits are easy to form. The bad news is that bad habits are also easy to form. So I remember on the first day home from the hospital, we were giving my baby a bath and he cried at the top of his lungs. He was so scared. But the next day, he totally got it. He even grew to love having baths. And there was this baby bather that I bought for him. It was only supposed to be temporary because the real one that I was going to use for him was on back order. So I ordered it off of Amazon because it's inexpensive. But my baby grew accustomed to the baby bather and it became part of his routine that I just stuck to it. I even packed it once on a road trip because I knew that he recognized his baby bather and that in a new environment he might be scared, but at least that baby bather might calm him down, and it did. Lesson number 4. Make time for self-care. I also mentioned this very important tip in my top 5 new parenting tips video. And as a new mom, you can get so overwhelmed. I was busy nursing, pumping, trying to take care of my baby in between all that, trying to get some sleep, and trying to feel comfortable dealing with all of my postpartum pain. So it felt like I never had true quality time to myself to do the things that I used to enjoy before I had my baby. Like, I totally missed making YouTube videos and I didn't have time to make one for months. Now, when I need self-care time, I set that date and time ahead with my husband so that he knows that that's my time to myself to do whatever it is that I want to do. Lesson number 5. Trust your mom instincts. Even as a new mom, you have this special power to know that something is not right about your child. There was an incident when my baby was just 10 weeks old, and he felt kind of warm that day, and so I took out the forehead thermo and started monitoring his temperature throughout the day, but the thermo wasn't very consistent. It would range from 98 to 99 and would kind of linger around 100 and 101. I was getting a bit concerned, but then when I looked it up on the internet, it said that 100 degree was considered kind of normal for newborns. So it didn't seem alarming, but I still didn't feel right about it. And so I remembered this regular thermal that I had, so I took that out and looked up on YouTube on how to take a rectal temperature. Like, I watched this video a dozen times before I felt comfortable to do a rectal temperature on my baby. When I did finally take his rectal temp, it was 103 degrees. I nearly freaked out, told my husband we needed to rush to the hospital. When we did get there, the nurse took his temp again and it was 102.9. From that point on, I no longer use a forehead thermo and I only do rectal temps. But my point is that trust your mom instincts. He was having a fever because it turned out that he had a UTI, so my baby had to be put on antibiotics for the next 10 days. It could have turned out to be a very bad situation, but I'm very grateful that I stuck to my mom instincts. Lesson number 6 is that most of the time, you as a mom or dad will only love a product if your baby loves it. So as much as I rave about the Doona car seat stroller or the baby bouncer that my baby used to use, in reality, I only love it because my baby loved it or loves it so much. So take it with a grain of salt when you're watching reviews and you see a mom raving about a baby product, because in all honesty, they love it because their baby loves it. And as we know, all babies are different from one another. A product that I really loved as a mom but I couldn't rave about was because my baby didn't love it so much was the Snuggle Me. He loved it for about less than 2 weeks, and after that he just didn't care for it anymore, and I was very heartbroken about it. But just because my baby doesn't love it doesn't mean I think it's a bad product. It just wasn't my baby's favorite, and I'm sure other babies have loved it. Lesson number 7. Always have your video camera ready and take lots of videos. You just never know what you're going to capture, especially when you have kids and they say or do the darnest things that are so priceless. One of the best things I did in 2021 was upgrade my phone, because I was using the iPhone 8 that had only 64 gig, and then I upgraded to the iPhone 13 with 256 gig, and I really upgraded because of the memory, and it was totally worth it. I've done 2 vlogs on my channel so far. They were both used with just my iPhone 13, and I am completely hooked. Even at the time when I was vlogging something that I didn't think was that interesting, at the end when I was reviewing clips from my vlogs, some of them turned out to be my favorite clips. Lesson number 8. Don't be so quick to judge other parents' parenting style. Yeah, I remember an incident. This was before I had my baby, and I went out to eat with my sister, and she has 2 kids. And as soon as our food came, she took out the phone and started playing a YouTube video for him while she was feeding him. And I said something along the line like, "Hey, I thought you wanted to minimize him watching YouTube." And her response was, "Trust me, it's the only thing I can do to make him eat." And that has always stuck in my head, because guess what? Now that's exactly what I do sometimes, because it's the only way that I get to eat sometimes. My baby always wants to be held, or he wants to be played with. He just doesn't like being alone. Don't be so quick to judge another parent's parenting style. I mean, if you think you can do better than me, please, by all means, come watch my baby so I can get a nap in. Lesson number 9 is a lesson for new moms, and that is, do not underestimate postpartum recovery. Take that time to take care of yourself. I shared a little bit of my postpartum recovery in my parenting tips video. But basically, allow yourself plenty of time to rest, especially that first month. Even if you start to feel better, treat your body like it's very, very fragile. Let your husband take care of the baby in between nursing, and let him cook and clean for you. Because you need to love yourself, love your body, and take care of yourself. You just went through so much in the last 9 months, including labor. Your spouse has no idea what you're going through, so if you don't express yourself and how you're feeling, they're just probably going to remain clueless. So put yourself first, take care of yourself, and allow your spouse and other people to take care of your baby during this time. Lesson number 10. This lesson is probably the hardest lesson to swallow for me. And I will be honest, I was hesitant about sharing this lesson that I learned as a new mom, but I really want to be transparent with you guys. So I am going to share it with you guys as lesson number 10 on this list. And that lesson is that being middle class is the worst position to be in as a new mom or any mom with a newborn. And that might be more of an opinion, but all life lessons are. As a middle class, you're never poor enough to qualify for government programs like free childcare, WIC programs that pays for formula or milk, and food programs like SNAP. But you're never rich enough to hire a nanny or afford the childcare of your choice or have that leisure to buy the best things that you want for your baby. You buy everything for your baby yourself with your hard-earned money while you're paying your taxes, and that tax goes to the poor moms who can apply for free programs to pay for things for their baby. It's a very difficult reality to accept. Don't get me wrong, I went into having a baby never expecting financial help from anyone else but my spouse. It never even crossed my mind to look at government programs to help pay for things for my baby. But when you start hearing about how other moms around you are getting free formula from the government while you're paying an extra $200 a month for yours, or how other non-working moms are getting free money from the government to help pay for things for their child, yeah, it starts rubbing onto you. And so 2021, I've done a lot of self-reflection. How do I really want to live the rest of my life? How can I beat this system? How can I create the life that I truly want to live? Alright, so those are the top 10 lessons that I learned in 2021. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Please comment below and remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!